Thank you, my friend and sister, Miss Charles, for your kind words. I think you're much too kind. Let me, of course, recognize my friend and sister, although she's not there, I'm sure she's probably listening, Dr. Cassandra Williams, your candidate for the Lapland constituency, or the candidates or the speakers and labor rights. Thank you. I bring you greetings from the PD7 constituency, where our candidate has already been declared the winner, ladies and gentlemen. And you know why? Because they knew that whether they sent up anybody, UWP, independent, anybody, we would have licked their butt big time. So they saved themselves the trouble and did not bother. You gas you. I feel privileged to be addressing you here in Delices this evening in solidarity with my friend and my sister and colleague, Dr. Cassandra Williams, your DLP candidate for the La Plaine constituency, ladies and gentlemen. Delices is a village with which I'm deeply connected. In fact, PD7 is just over the hill, and we share the famous White River as our constituency's boundaries. My dear friends, I have known Dr. Williams for the better part of 25 years, having pursued our medical studies together in Cuba. And I can reassure you, the lovely voters of La Plaine, that in her you have a formidable candidate, and of course, soon to be Member of Parliament for your constituency. Do not be fooled by her soft-spoken and calm nature. Dr. Williams is quite feisty. I know her. You have heard her eloquence and diction on the platform a few times now. You have seen her poise and composure. And I'm sure all of you here will agree with me that she is someone to look out for in the Parliament of Dominica, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, I can't wait to see her and hear her stand to represent her people when the new parliament is convened. And I think that the La Plaine constituency is extremely fortunate. You are extremely fortunate to have such a classy and well-qualified young lady come forward to serve you, ladies and gentlemen. And furthermore, you should appreciate the tremendous sacrifice that she's making in putting aside her professional career as a medical specialist, a career she spent 10 years of her life to achieve. She's putting all that aside to represent you, the people of the La Plaine constituency. Dr. Williams did not have to enter politics, for crying out loud. She's an accomplished pediatrician. But her country and her constituency has beckoned her to serve. And I would like to salute her. In fact, all of us here should commend her for answering that call, ladies and gentlemen. So please do not disappoint her. In fact, do not disappoint yourselves, because you will be missing out on the opportunity of a lifetime, especially when one takes a look at what or who we have as the alternative, ladies and gentlemen. Jason Fontaine. Jason Fontaine, ladies and gentlemen. Hélas, Papa Baudier. Do I really have to talk about Jason Fontaine? Because you, the people of the constituency, know more about Jason than me. In fact, time would not allow me to read out Jason's long record of not service, but of you know what. I think it's called a rap sheet in the law. I mean, it baffles me. It really baffles me that anybody here in Delices, and in fact the wider La Plaine constituency, is even considering voting for Jason Fontaine. What happened to joke that or what? Are you sure this is the kind of person you would like to manage your affairs, including the finances of your constituency for the next 5 years? Are you sure? I can't hear you. I say no more. I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, but I wouldn't even take the chance to allow Jason Fontaine to wash my van for me, ladies and gentlemen, and you all know why. In fact, when I heard that he had put his name forward for nomination, I looked at my calendar to check whether it was April 1st, because I thought it was just a big fat joke. Because a few days before that, he was at the public platform, screaming, no reform, no election. So clearly, this is someone who doesn't know whether he's coming or whether he's going. but whose sole purpose of being there is to hope that by some sick twist of fate that he gets in and get close to the cash tin of the constituency, my dear friends. So please be careful. My dear friends, my fellow Laborites, our political leader, your political leader, has offered you a young daughter of daily soil. And like he always does, and I think my friend and sister Nishal said it, he has given you the very, very best, ladies and gentlemen. He keeps recruiting candidates of the very highest caliber because you, the people of the Lapland constituency, deserve no less than the very best, ladies and gentlemen. And he keeps attracting these high-profile candidates because, after all, he is Roosevelt's Kerrit, one of the most dynamic and successful modern-day leaders in the country and the region has ever seen, ladies and gentlemen. Someone I call a brother and a friend, and I have had the privilege of serving with for the past 3 terms. And I must say that that experience was indeed a memorable one. And his support towards me as an individual, during these past 3 terms, and as a government minister, has been nothing short of commendable. And Mr. PM, sir, I'm sure you're listening. Although I've said it many times before, I want to state it here again at what might be possibly one of my last political addresses. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to serve. It was indeed an honor to serve with you. And to say further, on behalf of my constituents, the thousands of residents of Pidit-7 constituency, I would like to thank you and your government for your interventions, especially post-Tropical Storm Erika. Myself and the Pidit-7 peeps will forever be grateful, and you have indeed etched your name in the annals of Pidit-7 history. So my dear friends, Laborites, I want you to listen well. Let's not be fooled by these so-called independent candidates. Jason Fontaine is part and parcel of the enemies of progress called the UWP family, who have just one thing and one thing in common. That is to see the back of Roosevelt's Kerrit and the Dominica Labour Party. But come December 6th, my dear friends, come December 6th, we are going to extend Kerrit's reigning streak and legacy to an unprecedented 5th time, ladies and gentlemen. Because without a shadow of a doubt, the Dominica Labour Party is going to emerge victorious, ladies and gentlemen. So, they are hoping that where there are elections, for example, in the Lapland constituency, you will stay home and only a few of you go to vote so they can plead their case out there about the validity of your government in the international community. So do not fall for this trick. So we need you to go out and vote, vote, vote. Vote like your lives depend on it. In fact, yes, your life and livelihood depend on it. Because come December 7th, we need a clear mandate to continue on the path of progress that we are on, my dear friends. As I said in Sufria the other night, they have already lost the argument on the legitimacy and legality of the elections. I also told you that one of their very own, a lawyer by profession, told them at that famous press conference that there is nothing illegal about snap elections. So do not be fooled. Tiani Benhanzin, or whatever his name is, an attorney at law and a known UWP supporter told that to them, that the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Dominica, our supreme law, gives the Honorable Prime Minister the powers to call elections at any time. Any time. And we saw what happened at that press conference. All of you saw it on social media. Poor Tiani, if Afimate could see light, he would have knocked out Tiani with his walking stick. You saw that, ladies and gentlemen. This is the type of organization you would like to govern your affairs, especially in these trying times. I say a big fat no way. My dear friends from Delices and surroundings, and because they have lost that argument, they will try anything to disrupt the smooth democratic process of our elections. They know that the observer missions from the CARICOM, the OS, and the Commonwealth are here on island. They are already here, which is why in recent times, they attempted to disturb the peace and provoke some sort of civil unrest. They hoping that they would have had burning and mashing up of vehicles and fires, hoping that it would have happened in Salisbury and they would get some video footage to give the impression that our country is in political turmoil. Ladies and gentlemen, we heard what happened in Salisbury on Tuesday, my dear friends, where we should have witnessed the launching of Miss Lindsay Frank, a first-time candidate in a hometown village. Imagine an illustrious young daughter of the soil did not get the opportunity to enjoy the thrill and excitement of a home village on the home grounds cheering for her, Magwisa, because a handful of fellow villagers, led by the idiotic, nincompoopish, and macrocephalic former parrot of Salisbury, felt so inclined to interrupt the time-proven democratic process. But I would like to send them a message that our decision to move the meeting should never, ever be interpreted as a sign of cowardice, nor are we backing down. Indeed, this is far from the truth. We ain't afraid of them. In fact, we ain't afraid of nobody, ladies and gentlemen. Because you saw the numbers which showed up at the Mother of All Marches a few Saturdays ago. A mammoth crowd of labor rights, which means that the Dominica Labour Party still has the vast majority of the popular vote, and a handful of little goons like Sparks and a few others cannot and ever scare us. There is also no way under the sun that a few of them can prevent us from having a meeting anywhere in Dominica that we desire. But we listen to the astute and wise counsel of our political leader and Prime Minister to err on the side of caution, and rather than have any confrontation with a few ill-advised, foolish rabble-rousers, my dear friends. But I have confidence that the level-headed voters of Salisbury took notes and will teach them a lesson at the December 6th poll, ladies and gentlemen. The former big-headed power rep of Salisbury need to be reminded also that the Dominica Labour Party is not the reason why come December 6th he will be unemployed and have more time to roam the streets with a Guinness in his hand, ladies and gentlemen. His frustration and that of his supporters should not be directed at us, but rather at the leadership of his political party, who failed to do the basics, politics 101. A political party exists for the main purpose of forming the government, and thus they should be always be prepared, ladies and gentlemen. A political party is a serious organization, my dear friends, one that should be ready to take the reins of power whenever that chance presents itself. So we need to let Sparks and his goons know that this is not our fault, that his party took the knee-jerk reflex decision to not participate in the elections. And that it's not our fault that they were caught without pants, and not just without pants, without underwear. 2-0, ladies and gentlemen. And it's certainly not our fault that months after the leader resigned, they could not find it within themselves to regroup and put their party together, which is what any serious political organization does. Tell him, if he did not agree with his party, he should have been a man and run independent, and would see how much of a strong man he thinks he is. Because his Sparks know that deep down inside, he damn well still wanted to run, ladies and gentlemen. He damn well still wanted to run. Because after all, Kisa Sparks Calfe up with December 6th. Kisa Calfe. But I have the utmost confidence that Sparks, no Sparks, our candidate Lindsay is going to bring the Salisbury seat to Labour this time around. So my dear friends, do not gamble with your future, ladies and gentlemen. Do not gamble with your future. We need you to show up to vote come December 6th. Each and every registered voter, please do not assume that we've already won the election and stay home and we do not need your vote. Again, as I said at Sufria the other night, we need to teach the enemies of Labour a song lesson that we are returning the DLP to power with a strong majority, not just in terms of number of seats won, but a strong majority of the popular vote. We need to send a clear message to them, both here and overseas, and to the international community, most importantly, that this Roosevelt-carried-led Dominica Labour Party is still the best choice for Dominica, And we need to do that in no uncertain terms. Your Dominican Labour Party members, parliamentarians, have been the ones that have been there for you through thick and through thin. Through tropical storm Erika, especially here in the southeast, and then Hurricane Maria 2 years later, and of course through the deadly COVID-19 pandemic. We have been at your side, ensuring that each and every one of you was touched with supplies and other form of relief when and where needed. So please show up to vote, and come December 6th, ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends of the Lapland constituency, when the ballots are counted on December 6th, I am very confident that my friend and sister, Dr. Cassie Williams, will be victorious, ladies and gentlemen. And that the Lapland train will join all the other constituencies of Labour and head to wherever it is that the big party is going to be held. Because here in the Lapland constituency, you know that Cassie is the only choice. Just like the rest of Dominica knows that Labour Party is not just still a choice, it still remains the only choice. I really thank you for your attention and listening to me. Thank you very much.